You're listening to the Who is Christine Anyway podcast season 2. Today's guest is Ryze Hendricks. Enjoy. So when you do your writing, like you hear people talk about all the time, their writing process, it'll hit them randomly. It'll be an iPhone note or just napkins or whatever. Do you have a process? Like if you're out grocery shopping and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this song's on the overhead again, and it just kind of hits you. Do you just jot it down on the box of pancake mix you just picked up, or do you like whip out the phone?
Look, that's funny because I love music, and we hear music everywhere. I could be in the grocery store, and a song will come on, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah," and then right there, my brain is working. How could I flip this? So I'll go jot it right in my phone. Jot it right in my Samsung, and
right to the voice memos, right to the. I'll text people.
I take my notes, and I come home, and I just lock in. I play the music, and what I'll do is I'll listen to the music over and over with the lyrics.
Okay, so you're my karaoke partner. Got you.
Yep. Yo, you have no idea how many karaoke parties I get invited to. It's countless.
Do you ever want to go to just practice the cadence of the songs, like to just kind of and the flow of the song? Like, all right, I'll go to your fucking karaoke night or your whatever bar or whatever, or even just like your friend's house and just be like, okay, I want you to put on like, now that's what I call music. What number are they on right now anyway? Like, now that's what I call music 236. And like knows, like slap one of them in, or just like hit me random, and then just go with it just so you can kind of get it. Like Hanson's Bop on repeat, please. Like,
right. No, that's how I do it though. That's how I do it. Like I've been to one karaoke party, and that was my good friend Eli. And everybody was just so anticipated what I would do. You know what I mean? So of course I did some regular songs, regular singing, to the music. But then of course I had to switch the lyrics up on a few of them that, a few Weird Bar songs that I already had out. And of course had the whole party laughing. It's a lot of fun.
You just gotta go like to a children's party dressed up as a clown, and then like they'll have karaoke in the corner and just randomly kick the kid out the way, grab the mic.
Oh my!
Like, rip off the nose. Like
just pick them up.
Yeet him right into the bounce house. Just yeet him.
Mm-hmm.
Right into his own cake. It's fine. They bounce.
Yeah. He'll be all right. He good. But that's my process. I listen to the real song over and over, and I'll pretty much just take gangster rap and replace the lyrics with the song lyrics, or the same thing happens with. The same thing happens with Weird Bars, but of course you got to make the lyrics. You got to this is why the Weird Bar series is so relatable, because everybody makes the face that the producer makes.
Yeah.
Everybody makes the face when they hear the lyrics. So when I'm writing, I try to make the lyrics is super left. So
yeah, ludicrous, way out there kind of thing.
So I can react to it, and it's the thing too. Like I'm an actor, as well. So when people say, "Yo, I love your faces," like, "Yo, how do you come up with these faces?" And I'm like, that's acting.
I was born that way, you fool. It's the trauma.
It's reacting to what you hear. You know what I mean? So that's that. So that's the process.
Yeah. Of all the videos you've made, because you've amassed quite a few. Like you said, there's like 200 something in this collection, and this one, and that one. And I mean, that's countless numbers of hours of work alone. Do you have one that you're like, this is my favorite of all time? And it could be like your first one that's really janky and way out there, or it can be one that's like super polished. Anyone that's just your absolute favorite.
I see it, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of good ones.
Pick your favorite kid, damn it.
But I had to pick one. I gotta go with Weird Bars Part 13, because Weird Bars Part 13, that's the one that's over Drake and Future's I forgot the title of the song. Um, it's the one that go working on the weekend like usual. You
Mm,
know, well, I forgot. I can't think of the title right now. It'll hit me later. But I mean, people that's tuning in, I'm pretty sure they know the
yeah,
song.
yeah.
But that one has to be my all-time favorite. I got to go with that one because when I originally put that one out on TikTok, it got taken down. They took it down saying that the lyrics were sexual or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
What do you
Sex?
write? Like, what do you
Where do
write?
you?
And you're like, objection. Like, it isn't my business what they're doing to my song. But like, okay.
I was like,
Like,
sexual. I mean, the only part I say, it's the one lyric where the kid kicked me on my nuts, but that's it. Nothing sexual. So I challenged it. I challenged it because you can appeal
yeah,
if they video
yeah.
down, you can appeal it. So I went and appealed it, and I got a notification like maybe a few hours later saying sorry for the inconvenience. We made a mistake. Blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
They reposted it, and it went bonkers. I guess TikTok felt bad for
I was gonna
for
say,
taking that.
do you think there was a level of, I don't want to say apologeticness, but it's almost like they almost put you back in favor of the algorithm gods per se. They're like, whoops, and they put you to the top of the page again, which is like a mulligan almost, like do it over.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like
Yeah.
they felt bad for making a mistake, and they just put it everywhere. It went stupid. And I think off that one video, I think I got like 1 million followers off that one. And
That's
that's
crazy.
where from there it was just like momentum really kicked up from that one.
When
And
you
it
think when
everywhere.
you when you when you think about it and you start talking about your numbers and you're talking like 8 million, 3 million, like millions of people. That's like that
Crazy.
Oranges song. Millions of people. Oh, wait, that's Peaches. Millions of peaches. Yeah, that song. The President's song. That's funny. That was an alternative song. But that's millions. That's entire populations worth of people.
Yeah. Crazy.
You are the leader of an entire population.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy to think about that.
How do you
And
handle, I mean, at 8 million people, obviously your DMs just blow up. It's like, I can't
yeah,
imagine they don't. Like, and it's got
yeah.
to be hard because you're very, I know you really like to kind of be interactive and sometimes you really do engage your fan base. You do really listen to them. I have a sensation that you read a lot of their comments, and you really hear what they're trying to say. And you do, answer, comment, all these things. You email back, you handle your own shit. Like that's incredibly impressive to think that a person with, I think it's 7.7 currently, but I'm rounding it up to 8 million people takes the time and is, that makes you so multifaceted. It's like looking at a gem.
Yeah.
You're able to handle your business, be an actor. It makes you so versatile.
Yeah. It's a
And
lot.
it is a lot. It's got to be exhausting for
Yeah.
one, but it's also this amazing, I don't want to say it makes you an amazing creature because that sounds kind of offensive, but it's awe-inspiring to think that you're like, I was just sticking off and now it's this amazing thing. And with the writing having and the actual work having started when you were 9, and then did you ever release that mixtape right down in Kentucky, correct? After the talent show you did release it, right? Have you ever thought of re-releasing it now that you have reached these numbers organically?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. That is classic. I've thought about it on and off over the years. Should I bring it back out? But I mean, people that I went to college with, they'll tell you, "Yo, this is a classic. This is a classic. We
Mhm.
love it." Like every now and then, my old college buddies, they'll send me a picture to my inbox of the CD. They still have the CD, and I'm
I
like,
love it.
wow. Like I don't even think I have
That's
the
a
CD.
sensation too. Like to know that somebody has kept that and been like, I need this. It's valuable to me. Like you've built a
Yo,
latitude. Like that's a
I,
legacy.
I got a friend. I got a friend from college that got the CD from me, and he went off to the services, went to Iraq, went to war and everything. He told me that he had that CD there with him. He said that CD got him through that whole situation. I said, bro, that's heavy.
That's
That's heavy.
amazing.
You know what I
That is,
mean? That's heavy,
it's
heavy.
heavy, but it's incredible to think that. And it
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprising if that's just, you remember, now think about that. That's one story out of a million. I mean, and when you're over serving in overseas and stuff, now I have not done it, but hearing the stories and stuff like that, those things, those pieces of media that they cling on to,
yeah,
um, you know, it's kind of like when you go through something and it like that anthem, they call them like the anthems of the summer. Like, oh, this is the song of the summer. But like that really is the glue that binds the person together. And
yeah.
to know that your lyricism and stuff, and they're out in they're risking their lives. It's fucking insane. They're such
Yeah,
amazing people, our servicemen are. And they're out there and your song's going through their head while they're just jamming, doing their job.
crazy.
That's a fucking accomplishment. I don't want to say fuck 8 million people, but I mean, like, if one person ever contacted you and that was
Right.
all you ever heard, like, that's enough.
Yeah, like stuff like that. And that was before TikTok and the millions of followers and all that. So it's all these things like that just inspire me to keep doing this because you're making an impact on people's lives, you know what I mean? But to go back about re-releasing it, I say like it's cringe to me now when I go back and listen to it because I'm like, oh my God, my flow is so much better now. My my songwriting skills are so much better now. So it's a little cringy for me,
You
you know what I mean?
should cringe at your older stuff. That means you've done
Yeah,
better.
yeah. But like I said, my college buddies, they still love it, they still play it, they still listen to it. But for me, I'm like, I don't know.
I hope not. You're over there like, hey, I hope not loudly. Forget my name when you mention it.
It's
Just
a
for
few songs. It's a few songs from there that
Mhm.
I did put out on YouTube. I do have one or two that's on my YouTube channel, but the whole album, I don't know. I got to go back and listen to it. I got to go back and listen to
You
it to
gotta
see
go. You gotta go over the cringing thing first.
which
You gotta stop
right. I know.
cringing.
I know. I gotta find it. I don't
How
even
do you
have
not
it.
have your own?
I gotta ask one of my friends to burn it for me and send it to me or something because
Do
I
they
don't know.
still do that? Like my laptop doesn't even have a CD drive anymore. Like I'm from your generation. Like I made burnt CDs for people as gifts. And now everyone's like my kids are like, ew, why? I'm like, because that's what we did back then. Like rude.
Yeah,
It's like you
yeah.
don't know love until you get a CDR with like a hand-drawn Sharpie heart or something.
Yo, listen. I did all of that. I had the CDs, I had the Sharpie on there, Ryze. Certified Artist was the name of my first
Yeah.
mixtape. Certified Artist. And I used to draw my own CD covers. I draw it on the paper, cut it out to fit inside the CD case, and that's how I sold them, just like that.
Are you artistically inclined with terms of drawing too?
Yep.
You are? I can't. So if we ever like end up in a hostage situation and they said they need a map, just don't ask me.
Yeah.
Because I'd just be like, we're gone. Sorry.
Gosh.
Like we can do karaoke, we can do trivia, but you ask me to draw a map and we're fucked.
We're good. Yeah, yeah.
It's on you. It's
All me. All
all
me.
you.
I'll take it on. I told you I love to create. So my bachelor's is in studio art. So that's drawing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
ever feel, I mean, are you going to be a perpetual content creator or have you thought about like teaching in schools or even hosting like your own like type classes or a summer camp for like a week to kind of, almost like rise and inspire, you could call it. And it kind of like help children, not only say children in the arts, young adults, people in general, and kind of because that's essentially what you've done is you've rise and inspired.
Yeah, you know
You
what? I haven't like recently I haven't thought of doing anything like that, but I have done it in the past. In the past, this job I used to work with the youth, like troubled youth.
yeah,
And they
I could
basically
see
put
you
me.
doing that. I feel like you'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of fun. Kids, they love me, but I love the kids though, so they feel that energy. But yeah, they put me over the music department, and I basically taught them how to use the studio, come to the studio to record and stuff like that. So I've done it before, but I don't know,
So
doing it. doing it today. I don't know. I got to think
It's
about
on
that
the
one.
maybe list. We'll put it on the maybe list.
Maybe list. Yeah, put that on the
And
maybe list.
we'll just put that on the maybe list. And it's
Yeah.
funny because when I started in music, I was 14 and I wandered into a music venue, into like a punk rock show. And I just kind of was like, it was like that click. Like it just was like, oh, okay. And then I just, yes, everyone's like, oh, you want to be a performer? And I'm like, I don't think I ever looked at the stage and said, I can't wait to be on holding the mic. I always loved that moment at the crowd when you look at the people and you're going, right now this person could be turning away from something, this person's life could be completely changing. That moment in their eyes when they're against the barricade or in the crowd, and it's any genre of music, it's not one type versus another. I've worked with several genres and I love how it inspires people. And I do a lot of work with youth too. I being 14, I had a troubled childhood. Naturally, I grew up with my grandmother, and it's one of those things where I absolutely love to hear what kids have to say in terms of like when it comes to their interpretation of music and how it's culturally evolving. I also love how a child, or I say a child, a young adult, it could be anybody. I want to say like an at-risk, even adult, like somebody who's maybe, struggled with addiction or all these other things. You put them in a studio and you give them the ability to speak, and it may be over a beat and it may be whatever, and you watch that person transform. They
Yes.
completely fucking transform. they
Yes.
they're heard, they are seen, that you can see the confidence building, you can see, it's almost like you can feel that build. And then, naturally, of course, we're 20 years later and we're like cringing, but still at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like that, what you've done with youth, even troubled youth, and putting them in front of a microphone is phenomenal.
Yes.
Even giving them a journal and just saying, hey, we're going to use, what was it, like iambic pentameter was one of the poetic forms, and all these other things, and teaching people, there's just English. I was hilarious. I was absolutely trash ass in school because I had like, home sucked. I had to work, and I was like, I was 14. I was doing so much. It was too much. And I actually had my English teacher popping on here in an episode, which is funny because I never fucking did a single homework assignment he ever gave me. Yeah. Like, but he was amazing because he saw me and he was like, let's do what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like in the 2 years of his guidance, and it wasn't like he wasn't overbearing. He was wonderful. He did character development by watching The Simpsons. Like he'd have us watch The Simpsons. He's like, tell us character development. That's a fucking, like, if you can pull the character development out of those characters. And I mean, that's a long running series for a reason. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's coming on, and it's one of those things. He ended up having a magazine, and he's followed my career, and he's wonderful. But it's that one again, that one, and it's that thing where it's like you've had that one moment, and it's one of those things where it's like you're beyond 1 million, you're up to 8 million, and 8 million eyes, sets of eyes. If you just envision that,
Yeah.
think you're amazing right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
They
you. And
know you're
I think that's
amazing.
what
They don't think, they
that's
know.
what really, that and that's what really turned me on and made me interested in TikTok, because it was when you post on TikTok, um it's almost like a talent show.
Yeah.
They're putting you in front of a bunch of people that don't follow you. This is going back to the beginning when I was first interested. I'm like, shout out to Gary V. I don't know if you know who Gary V
I
is.
do know Gary V's content. I do appreciate his content,
Listen,
actually.
shout out to Gary
No
V.
bullshit, straight to the point guy.
That's my guy. He's the reason why I joined TikTok, because I saw a video with him saying, hey, listen, if you're an artist, if you're a small business,
Just
you need
fucking
to be on
create.
TikTok. He said this in 2019. He
Mm-hmm.
said TikTok is going to be the next big thing. He said this in 2019. This is before the pandemic, because TikTok blew up during the pandemic.
It did.
So just him explaining it, he was like, like if you got good content that you can go viral, they're gonna put you out in front of all these people. And I was like, oh snap, really? I'm like, okay. And when I, got on the app and I started studying the app, I'm like, yeah, this is like a talent show. They're putting you in front of a whole bunch of people that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And based on your content, if the people like it, then they'll show you to more people in the room. And then if they like it and they interact with it, then they'll show you to more people that enter the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I loved about it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a stage. It's a stage.
And it's interesting, especially with Gary Vee's stuff. I love the opposite effect also. If someone hates you, they will share you too. It's also that concept. Like, hey, love or hate me, share. It's a great way that, they say no press is, there's no such thing as bad press. I'm like, as having worked in PR, I have other cases I'd rather work than not.
Yeah.
But sure.
Right.
But the concept of somebody like, okay, cool, you're like, they keep sharing it. It's accurate. But then there's that little tiny percentage. They're haters. They just do that. Everybody has them.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things. You're still sharing your content, talking shit, but that's another view, and that's another, like, one person could be 30 people.
Yeah, they help out too. They don't realize it. They help out too. When they comment and they little hate and shit in the comments, it helps the algorithm. So bring it.
And it's funny because so in doing marketing research and all this other stuff on the social media platforms, as I do social media marketing, it's interesting to me because to show up on Instagram, primarily, this was the last I knew, somebody has to just simply save your video. It actually puts it further up. I call them the algorithm gods. Like, do they shine on you or do they not? So when somebody saves your content, it actually increases your value and to who it's shown to. When they share your content, it gets shown to a select percentage of their population. If they send it privately, it goes to that one person. And it all depends on who views that content. So if I put out a piece of content and I get somebody like you who sees it, you just see it, it's going to get shown to more people. You don't have to like it. You don't have to interact with it. There's a certain like second momenture in it where it just goes, okay, now this is what people want to see. And that's how it works. But when people save the content, that actually affects the algorithms larger than people understand on Instagram. And it has the same effect on TikTok as well, and Facebook. It's the saving of the content that actually does it, because that means you're going to refer back to it later. That's why recipe videos cook the internet, because I'm going to save this pancake recipe. So that means it's going to an archive. So that means I may watch it 15 more times. So if they go, okay, they clearly want to keep referencing it back. So it'll continuously, it's like showing something in perpetuum. Like it's just going to keep going. If you save it. So it's one of those things where shares are important, likes are important, comments show it to other people as well, unintentional, because it's like friends and friends of. Unintentionally, it's just kind of, it's the algorithm gods. It's how they work. But the saving is what makes it infinite.
Yeah.
Because it's never technically gone.
I didn't think about that one. I'm always thinking about the likes and the shares and the comments, but I didn't think about the saving. Yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense. Any type of interaction with your content, they gotta, the algorithm guys, as you call it, they gotta like, show it love and push it out even more.
Keep listening for the next part of this episode with Ryze.
Visit www.whoischristineanyway.com for access to all the social media links and additional podcast episodes.